Well, welcome. I was trying to get that tweet in as to what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about the unwritten laws in the relationship. In a relationship, but anyway, it's okay. Either way, hakutakuwa na balance.
So tuhame?
But no, ni sawa because hata kikaa hapo bado kuna it's the same thing, but now starting from CJ.
Yes.
But well, Anita Ray is with us this morning. Israel Robert Burale.
Yes. How are you, sir?
He's also with us this morning. And CJ, by the way, I've never asked what CJ means.
Chief Justice.
Chief Justice Atemo. is also with us this morning. So today, like I said, we want to talk about that the unwritten laws in relationships. Some of them, based on what I've been seeing, the interactions online when we ask the question, some of them have been, some of them are, and I don't want to say superficial because to somebody it might be a genuine concern. Some of them are deep, and some of them are not so deep. But again, you know, we welcome all comments. So what are some of the unwritten laws that we're talking about here, just to put it in context? Things like, for example, like I said earlier on, that ikifika Christmas, sisi wote tunaenda kwa the shags at the husband, for example. And then one that has been a very big issue is girls' night out. Where, and I'll let you give the example of the story that you're telling me.
Oh yes, a guy is having a problem because it was on social media. He was having a problem because the wife went away for a vacation, a mini vacation with the girlfriends. And he could not understand why they need time away alone from the men. And he was like, we are married, you need my permission to go. For 3 days, where are you? Who are you with? Where are you? It was such a big issue. It was like, there's something called me time. I think people need to understand that, and not only for women. The same way men want time with the boys to go and watch football, to catch up. We keep saying, I think with CJ, and he agrees with this one, someone needs a life away from their spouse. So I don't understand what's the big fuss about me having a drink with my girls away from, if it's coffee. When I say drink, it doesn't necessarily mean drink.
Coffee is good.
Coffee.
Yes, about it because, yeah.
But I think it's a big deal if you go away for 3 days.
Is it?
And your spouse has no idea. I think that's a big deal. It is.
If you're okay, let's clarify. Yeah, is it a big deal when you go and the spouse has no idea, or a big deal going away for 3 days?
When the spouse has no idea.
No, they know. Okay. They know. Hi, okay. I come tell you, hi, I'm going away with my girls for 3 days. His problem is, where are you going away for 3 days?
Is the why?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a wife, where you go? Where do you need 3 days away from home?
All right.
Yeah, and then I leave.
And then I leave.
What do you think, Israel?
Well, first, going for a drink is okay. Coffee, tea, pulpy orange, that's fine. But also when you're going away...
What's wrong with the other drink?
When you're going away...
It's just morning.
I know. There's nothing wrong with that. But also, the one question that you must ask, who are you going with? Now, what am I saying? Yes, you're going with your girlfriends, but there's certain caliber of people. Now, you're a married lady. You're going with some single ladies who go for a fiesta and to look for men. Now, I don't know if you're going there to counsel them on why they should not be with other men, but if you are 7 people and you are the only one married and the other 6, they make these holidays to go look for men in nightclubs, and then there's a problem.
Why are you saying women go to look for men?
No, I'm saying some. But even men, even for married men, there are some married men who go out with some single boys who want to go around picking chicks. Let me tell you the truth. Only a fool does not know bad company corrupts good morals.
CJ, is it okay? I feel like I need to run to you today.
You're running to
yeah, but I still come to the point of, you know, I think when the man feels you should have sought permission from me. Once you're married, life changes. You can't just pick up. You know, RB is good company. but I can't just pick up my stuff today and say, you know, me and Darby, we've gone away for 3 days. Yeah. There's a sense of responsibility that I also have, and accountability that I have to my wife, that I can't just pick up and leave. There's nothing wrong we're going to do, but then there's already somebody else in your life. And you've got to agree about certain things. You've got to say, look, I want to be away over this time. Maybe they have other plans. So when you just pick up and pack up and leave, what if they had other plans with you also? So it's just called respect. It's not control, it's respect. And I think sometimes we mix up respect and control. Yeah. So going out is okay, but agree with your partner. Like, I would like to go over this time, then yes, so they're fine.
There's also another one, and before or wait, you still have a...
No, we will not agree, so I'm going to smile.
No, what is your
No, I just feel like I'm going back to being a child in my mother's house if I can't have enough space to hang out with my girls without someone's confirming. I am not... No offense, I am not a child. I don't need to seek permission. I will let you know. And, I will let you know as a courtesy and as respect. I will let you know as my husband, hi, I should let you know, hi, me and the girls plan to hang out. And yes, not all single girls are bad.
Yes.
Yes. So we plan to hang out and maybe we want to do something with the kids. I will let you know as respect as my husband. But when you say no, you're in a position of you can say no, and I'm like, why?
You must give somebody the space to voice their opinion that does not necessarily agree with you. Otherwise, you're not in a marriage.
But we give them
What
space
would you do
to voice.
if he says no?
I'll still go. I gave him a chance to voice his opinion, right?
So if he says no, you'll still go?
I'll hear and I'll tell him, I respect you, no, but I really, you have to respect. Nataka kuhang out na mabeste zangu. You have, it's a balance. Why are you saying no? Maybe if they're bad company, if you feel they're not right for me, I will take that into consideration. I will.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the other thing I was asking. So there are two questions. Is it, like Anita is saying, are you going seeking, permission? Is it for permission, or are you just saying, okay, I'm notifying you?
Anita said is a notification.
Notification, yes.
Not permission.
So how is it supposed to be?
But the moment you get married, Mr. CJ said something.
Yeah.
Respect is paramount.
It's true.
And the moment you get married, you have to sacrifice some level of freedom.
Yes.
Whereby days are gone where you can just up and leave. But the moment you marry, and this goes both to men and women, you really must say, and you just can't go on a Friday and saying you're leaving on Sunday. You say, okay, fine, honey, this is what we are planning with my girlfriends. What do you feel about it? And the man or the woman might say, but I'd planned something else.
Yeah.
If there was a plan with you and the kids, I will say this without fear of contradiction. Your first priority must be your family. Whether it's a man or a woman, your first priority. Because some of these people you'll go out with, but you've left fire burning in your house. When things hit the fan, they will not be there. They will simply pick somebody else who is available, and they move as you try to put off the fire.
What about for the dudes? Because unajua tujaongelea sana. Because what I come and say, hey, Anita, fanya hivi. Hii weekend, CJ and I, tunaenda rugby. Na hiyo rugby si ya siku moja.
So inaanza Friday, afu kuna after party
Saturday. Na kuna after party Friday.
Finals ni Sunday.
But narudi, but I'll be back Saturday.
After 3 days, I'll be back.
Yeah. Let's be honest, and CJ, this one I want you to be very honest about it. They don't even ask for permission or even notify you. Do you know how you know actually that they are nini? They are not gonna be there. Hey babe, nilisahau kukushow. Manze niko nuts na the boys. That's after you're worried at 11 p.m. like, why is this guy not telling me that hakuji home? You get, and men have that problem. They won't tell you in advance. They will tell you later. They deal with the hakuna haja kusema, for that you deal na repercussions way later.
And you see, that's why I give the example of, like, if I'm going out to hang out with Abby, it is respectful for me. If I'm going out for 3 days something, it's respectful for me. Talk to my wife about it. And if she says we have other plans or something, her opinion still matters. You see, when you just inform somebody and then you don't give them the space to say yes or no, that's not respect. That's formality. They don't feel a part. Now, one day you're going to need this person to give an opinion, to be involved in something, but then they feel like, you know what?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So they leave you on your own. You must allow your partner to have a say in the decisions that you make that affect them. If I'm going out, like, you know, I'm out here, so probably after this, then I go somewhere for 2 hours or whatever, unless we had other plans, that may not really affect. But 3 days away from home, you know, you're
even
not
a day,
home, even a day, that is having an effect on this person. And it is important for them to be in agreement with you, whether it is a man or a woman. Just because some men do not communicate does not make bad manners be the norm. You know, it is wrong for them to do that. You need to communicate. I mean, I will even take it further, that you need to even let your children know that you won't be home.
Okay.
You need to let your children know. You need to tell them, you know, daddy's traveling or mommy's traveling or something. You don't just assume, because these people are connected to you emotionally, and they may not voice it out, but then they keep on feeling like, so what happens? She disappears or he disappears, shows up, disappears. They're connected to you. They want to see you at home. So it's important. It's important to respect the other people enough to talk about it. And if they say, you know, stay, well.
That's the thing. So, Israel, how did you do the no? Here we have a situation where, like, and especially like, you know, we've said, of course, what company, bad company, choice of friends, you think about it. But what if I'm going out with Burale, CJ, men who are reputable character, and still my wife says, Z.
And that's why I think CJ said it's good to discuss. So what are your reasons for saying no? Let's meet halfway, because some may say no out of selfish reasons, and yet there's nothing really wrong. Maybe I want to spend more time with you. If the reason is justifiable, okay, fine, maybe I'll plan next time. But then in your discussion, if the reason is out of malice and selfishness, it will come out. Then you start telling your wife, listen, you see, when you say this, this is what it means. And I want you to see it from my point of view. What you got to understand in a marriage or a relationship that is leading to marriage, every time there's a disagreement, you have to understand you're disagreeing from the same side.
Right.
You're not fighting from opposite sides. You want to come and see from each other's position, and then you agree to disagree. But I will tell the ladies and I'll tell the men, when you say no, may it be justifiable. Right. Because when selfishness comes into a relationship, the foundation will be broken.
What about, because I hear this a lot as well, you know, for example, you want to travel and, you know, maybe, you know, you're traveling to see your folks, you know, and you're saying, watch us, sasa hii weekend naenda or on track, I want to go spend time. Even right now, let's say there are people who, they are married and the wife wants to leave and even go and see the kids. And the husband says no.
To see the kids?
Yes.
You're not living with your kids?
No. Like, the kids are grown up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, extended family is very, very important to keep in communication. But it cannot be, the moment you get married, other people, whether it's your folks or not, because most marriages break, and one of the reasons is in-laws, you know, father-in-law, mother-in-law. There's nothing wrong, but you cannot be going to see your father-in-law every weekend. Even that man or that woman should tell you,
know,
please.
Father-in-law ni mtu mwingine.
You know, exactly.
Ni father.
But even if it's the real father-in-law, a mature man or woman will tell the son or the daughter, listen, you still also have your home. Make sure you also take care of your home. You can visit, and you can even come with your wife or your husband. But you can't say every Friday, I'm going to my dad. Every Friday, I'm going to my mom. Let me tell you, your husband or your wife will suffer. And what happens is that when they don't get your attention, they will look for attention elsewhere.
True.
I mean, even in the Bible, Adam did not give his wife attention, and she got attention from a snake.
Hello. Snake is relative. Snake is very relative.
That was really fast.
Somebody says here, so we asked on our page, that is Citizen TV Kenya, what are some of the unwritten laws in relationships? And some that are very interesting. One says that the wife should always be alert usiku to chase mosquitoes away. I think it's just funny there. But somebody says here, some laws are, for example, being snitchy, especially in every step your partner takes that you are doubting. It is totally wrong, mostly checking one's messages. So I think it's raised 2 points there. Snitching in the terms of, umesikia, let's say maybe you're married to Burale, umesikia Burale yako, ameenda Naivasha, ana meet na governor. Being snitchy in terms of the affairs of the home. 2, he says doubting, checking one's messages. That so he seems to think that written law should be stay away from the phone?
It should be. It's unwritten and written at the same time, because you're told whatever you're looking for, you're gonna find it. That's a guarantee. Kale kashitani kanambianga nakini for women. Called I'm a woman and I'm telling you for free. When the phone is left there, I have a feeling the devil's usually dancing in our brains like, take it. And you're there like, I am a mature woman. I am grown up. I shall not touch the phone.
And then you take it.
And you're taking it like message murdered. Then an hour later, you're so angry you want to kill the whole nation. You're like, and that's the problem, you see, because women, you see, when you read something from the phone, maybe you don't know, but nowadays we live in a generation of calling people babe, sweetie, and you mean nothing, actually, nothing. It's just a name, an endearing name. So trust me, when you're there, someone takes us a sweetie, you're like, oh Lord, hold me.
I hope you sweetie like
You know, sometimes it doesn't have to go that deep. Sometimes somebody is offended in the time the text came.
Yeah.
Who is this texting you at 11? Who is texting you? You know, who is this that was texting at midnight? You know, there's no honey, there's no babe, there's no nothing.
But the timing.
But the time. Like, why are they so confident to text you
at this time?
And also, as Anita said, if you look for something,
you
will
find
get
it.
it.
You find it.
Now, Willis, for example, you're here, you work here, you had a great meeting, you had a meeting with all the presenters and the management, and then Anita sends you a message. Man, that meeting was long. That was amazing, but it took too long. Now, that was an official meeting. But what was amazing? What took too long? Man, that thing was deep. It's a deep meeting. There was deep information. But when you read it, you will get it a different way. And then there's drama. So whatever you're looking for, and also this thing of babe, sweetie, what you got to understand as men is that women are very emotional. You call them sweetie 3 times. They may start planning their wedding.
True.
That's true.
Yeah. So you also have to be careful as men. These endearing words. You'll say it once, you'll say it twice. The 3rd time, you're engaged. So you have to be careful.
But also very important, it's how you react to a message. You see someone is going to get a bad message and be straight-faced and you won't know. And then he's going to get it like, so when you do that, I'll be like, Ebu fungo a message, no, let's be in this together, open the message. You know how you react. Body expressions, you said facial expressions sell a lot. You see, that's a problem, I think, mostly with men. You're not good at lying, so someone will know. You will react.
Are you saying women are good at lying?
Oh, very good. You'll be shocked.
Women are slick.
Oh,
that's scary.
Very scary.
But, no, it's true. But let me ask, as well as, isn't the wife entitled, at least kuuliza, kama long and hard, because there could be something that was long and interesting, or it took too long. So it's good to ask also to be accountable.
I think you know the clarification.
Yeah.
Seeking
so
clarification.
It's the way you ask.
Yeah. It's the way you ask. It is why you ask. But most of the time, what Anita is bringing up is the default setting, where you're coming in looking for something.
Specifically.
You already are prejudiced against everything that you will see. So you've formed an opinion that I think there's something going on between Anita and Willis. So any text from Anita, you suspect it because it's coming into certain default setting. That's where the problem is. By just getting to know, no problem. I mean, people should be open enough, be talking. In fact, it should be so easy that you bring out the information. Like, you know, today I was hanging out with Anita. We spent quite some time, we do this. It should be so easy. And I do believe that when ladies make the place safe, men talk. Men do talk. People say men don't talk. They do talk. Men talk. But they talk in safe places.
True.
If they find the safety, if they know that whatever they say will not be used against them, if they know that the plane can land without it being blown, you'll get a lot more.
But let me ask you, CJ, have you ever seen a woman ask that question nicely?
Yes.
Wow, how?
My wife just asked us, huyu and I alikuwa nasema nini?
Huh?
Hivyo tu.
She's like, do not ever make
There's
her
also
feel
the element
bad.
of
That's an amazing
personalities,
woman.
you know.
I have not seen a woman who asks that. Kwanza ya simu haikuwagi mzuri. It is never...
I'll tell you something.
No, it depends on
I'll tell you something. CJ says, when the place is safe, the men will talk.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, any man watching this is giving him a standing ovation for that. Because it is something that men like. Because every time it's noise, somebody said something to me. When you make too much noise, even how you ask things, noise, noise, noise. When your noise becomes irrelevant, you're on the way to lose that man. He will not care, he'll be immune to that, he'll even leave his phone and is expecting you to shout every time. And I'm not saying it's just the women, even the men. You know, how you ask is very key. And when you ask in a proper way, you'll realize that you'll end up getting much more than you even wanted to know.
You know, I'm a believer, and I'll say this. I'm a believer that most men's secrets are with women.
True.
Now, the question usually is, then why is it with the women in their lives? Because people say men don't talk. They don't talk to the women. They do. Sometimes it's just a colleague at work. This man will be talking about his pressures, his stress. I have this loan, I have this. It doesn't have to be an affair. There's a way that men trust women with their issues. So if I am the woman in this man's life, why don't I make it safe for him to be talking to me freely? It's because of stakes. Sometimes you've raised so much stakes. So this man will be coming in saying, you know, I took this money, it didn't work for me. The way you blow up, he's not going to tell you even the details. But the other lady in the office will just be, but what were you thinking, man? You should have done this. They talk as friends. On this other side, the stakes are so high. So the man is afraid of what he's going to lose. It's not always an affair. When I say that men's secrets are with women, it's not always an affair. It's just that place of finding safety. Yeah.
But it's mostly an affair.
All right, there are two,
That's an assumption.
There are 2 or 3 other things here I will talk about when we come out from the break. Someone says a man should always provide money for his wife. Who say that? Hata bibi amke atafute. What man can do, a woman can do better. Wacha tuongee. Hiyo ni Isabella Patrick. Polycarp Odhiambo anasema there is this unwritten law ati whichever neighbor your wife does not like automatically becomes your enemy.
Oh my God.
We'll talk about that and more when we come back from the break. Thank you so much for staying with us. We are talking about some of the unwritten laws in relationships. A big shout out to one Eric Binges who is watching. Amesema nikusalimia sana.
Salamike sana Mr. Binges.
Right. So we're talking about some of the unwritten laws in relationships, and we've asked that on our Citizen TV page. Some of the feedback that's coming up is interesting. We left earlier before we took the break. We talked about whichever, that's Polycarp Odhiambo or Luaki 16, says whichever neighbor your wife does not like automatically becomes your enemy number 1. This also goes further than just neighbors. If, let's say, your wife doesn't like
anybody, they are your enemy, and if you talk to them, you're betraying her.
Yes.
That's I don't know why it's an unwritten rule. Not even your girlfriend, even your girlfriend. Hakuna kitu you madam. Like you're dating this guy or you're married, and then he says hi to someone you don't talk to. Kwanza, it is a woman. You have taken away her soul. Why would you say hi? Kwanza msalimia na mcheke. Are you trying to kill her? Why are you even talking to this person? But it comes out so naturally. And I say these things, I'm a woman. Even if I'm working with you, I don't like someone, you say hi, I'll be like, You know, so you imagine you're married to someone and then they say hi to someone you hate. And us women hate with our souls. And you be like, and then you stand there and laugh. I swear that woman is going to be so pissed at you the whole day. And you're going to be like, you wanted me to pass her? Yes. Be loyal. Pass like you don't know her. You're like, have you ever seen men who assume they don't even know people? And trust me, for us, it's so important. Be a friend to my friends and an enemy to all my enemies. That's unwritten.
I think that's a bit unfair, whether it's a woman or man who does it. Because, for example, I've known CJ for many years. And then my wife says, I don't like that guy. My dealings with him are on the foundation of respect and mutual understanding. So you can't tell me to hate. The only problem is when you meet somebody, maybe you meet a lady and you're with your wife, and then you're there very lovey-dovey. You are shaking hands and then you're still holding hands as you're talking. That's a problem. And then a woman hugs a man and does not want to leave. You know, you also have to understand respect your spouse. But getting to a place where you say, I don't like that person, and that person has done nothing wrong to me, so you don't talk to that person, then there's a problem because you don't know to talk happy. You understand? And the one thing you have to realize, if you do those things, whether it's a man or a woman, they will still find another way to meet that person in your absence. And then that opens a door of insecurity, lack of trust, and even infidelity. Yeah.
So how do you deal with that? Because it still happens if, you know, they say, me, back
to what I said. You are fighting from the same side. Everything you guys discuss or disagree, you are disagreeing from the same side. The moment you look at it that way, then you'll be able to see it my way, on my shoes and your shoes. And then once you do that, you will always find a midpoint. And if you find a point of convergence, you will all walk away happy.
What if there is a valid reason?
Yeah,
What if
women have sixth senses?
Yeah. What if, for example, do you have a friend called Alice?
Nah.
Okay, good. So let's say Alice.
Yeah.
Let's say me and Anita were dating, and Alice alikuja kosea Anita.
Yes.
So would it then be wrong for me to keep talking to this said Alice? Should it be solidarity?
Yeah, of course.
Solidarity forever.
I know.
It's true. You have to. Your first person to defend is your spouse, of course.
Right.
And if Alice did Anita very wrong, the onus is on the husband to be on Anita's side.
Amen.
That's true. If there's a valid reason, and that is a valid reason, and if they didn't resolve the issues, then I think you better support your wife, because Alice will not be there.
CJ, let me ask you on this one, because I like CJ because he always talks about marriage. Marriage perspective. What if, CJ, my problem with this person has nothing. We're women. I won't like someone because I don't like them. But maybe, as he said, you've been doing dealings with this person. Would it be wise not to tell your wife of the continued friendship? You're not lying, but you just don't tell her about it.
Well, I know that is the easiest for some people to do. But then again, that is not very good. That's not loyalty at all, because that's going behind your back. Me not telling you that I'm dealing with this person, then I keep on dealing with them, that's going behind your back. So nothing has been achieved over there. I would rather we work through it. Like, why don't you want me to deal with this person? Then I see your perspective and probably either begin to reduce. I may tell you, look, I'm not going to cut off this person like immediately. That may not happen. But I begin to reduce the dealings just because I take care and consider your feelings. I may not even agree with why the two of you disagreed, but because you're my priority and I respect your feeling, then I begin to reduce the dealings slowly. But to not tell you and then still have dealings with this person and we go on as if there's nothing. You see, what will happen over there is somewhere along the line, we'll start talking about you. Because when I see your phone call coming in, I'll be like, you know, so she's calling right now, I can't pick this. So we'll start talking about you. So I'm going to betray you over there. And so that's not a very good place to go. You'd rather just walk through the paces, reduce the dealings with the other person. Maybe I might actually be the person who even reconciles the two of you, resolves the issues that there were, the misunderstanding that there was. So for purposes of respect, you know, don't go behind your spouse and continue dealing with the other person like there's nothing. You know?
And also, let me give, before you finish on that topic, let me give men free advice, which is true. Women are a bit malicious, so if I concern her with Alice, she would want to get back at me through you. You get? Like, tulikosana lakini I still talk to the hubby, ajifanyaga na bwanake ananipenda na nisalimiaga, so just save your wife from all that trouble. So, my enemies are your enemies.
So unasalimia hapo. Then there's another one here, Steve Wakite says, no woman should come across the man's payslip. That is what Steve anasema. Is this, what do you think about that?
Well, if you're married, honestly, and your spouse does not even know such important fundamental, your salary, then your relationship is in a very wrong foundation, to be honest with you. Willis, if your wife does not know how much you earn, then there's a problem. You're playing with each other. If you know...
Arabi, you've given it a very heavy term. You've called it fundamentals. No, that's just basic.
Actually, yes.
That's just basic.
I mean, if you cannot tell your spouse how much you're earning, and then they find out, then what happens? Anita, you not let your spouse know how much you earn.
Never.
Now, this is what happens. It's a basic thing with fundamental repercussions. Now,
just be honest
let me say it this way. If your spouse doesn't know how much you earn, then they find out in other ways. What comes into their mind is, what else
are you hiding?
Don't I know? And then trust dies. And when trust is over, you are just housemates who don't trust each other. Somebody once said something. The highest level of trust, I think Mr. Diane was in there, the highest level of trust is when you sleep with somebody at night. You trust that person not to kill you when you're there snoring with your mouth open and you're drooling. And if you cannot trust them with your payslip, then there's a problem. The issue of hiding such important basics is it will create such big things that when trust dies, let me tell you, there's nothing you're doing. The moment you've said, I do, you have said, what I am, you will know. What I have, you will have. When you're saying I do, those are the things we tell people, say after me. You know, with all that I have, I give to you. You know, why are you hiding your
Can I come
payslip?
with my own I-dos?
I don't even know. I don't even know why that thing is a big deal. The accountants in your office know your pay. Your boss knows how much you earn.
Carry.
The people your
Don't you think that's
group,
enough people knowing how much I earn?
I mean, so why is it a big deal? All these guys know how much you earn.
Huduma number will know how much you earn.
Let me tell you something. No, CJ,
So
let me know.
why
Let me
is
tell
it
you
such
people,
a secret when
It's
it
not a
comes
secret.
to the person that you live with? Now it's a secret. This thing is not a secret anywhere. You know, when no one person decides this is how much you're going to earn unless you're working for a shopkeeper somewhere, because these things are decided by a group, a committee, there'll be the finance department, there's going to be a CEO and all of that. So there's nothing really, you know. I don't think that you should hide that from your spouse. It's
Anita,
the mentality.
What are your reasons?
Do you see how sometimes men feel so vulnerable to talk about their emotions so that they cannot look like weaker men? There's nothing as bad as money vulnerability. Because it's someone knowing you make this much more than them or you make this less. Or it's someone knowing your worth. You know your money is your worth.
No?
Let's not lie. Your money is your worth.
Your money is not your worth.
No, what you're paid is not your worth.
Okay, but yeah, definitely. They will never pay you what you're worth, ever. Ever. They will never, even you will never pay yourself.
But this is your husband you're talking about.
Yeah, but this,
I'm sharing everything else with you. Leave my money.
Your worth should be deeper than the externals.
Let's talk about, no, let's not get about to the depth of it. It's money. Let's talk about I'm trying to, I swear I want people to tell us on Twitter how many people know what money their spouses earn. Honestly.
Even if the higher percentage is that people don't know, it doesn't make it right.
I know, but let me tell you something. At the end of the day, I hear men have one pay slip that they show their wife and one they earn. You guys?
It depends on where you hear that.
yeah, yes, exactly. You should interrogate where you hear these things.
The source of the information.
My point is I am not.
It depends where you hear this kind of stuff. I think you need to change where you hear
Where you
stuff.
hang out.
Hang out with that me and myself.
No.
Come out from some of these groups you are in.
Exit left WhatsApp group.
I cannot. I'm the admin.
You are the admin.
Okay, so you should share the information. Yeah, it should be shared. Somebody else continues to say, my phone is my phone, but if you want to slim, start reading my chats. And he's actually watching from UK, aka United States of Kitengela. Brian Karani says, Unwritten Law number 27, page 6. Never switch TV channels without her consent. Hata kama ako kitchen, don't change. Sinaskia. Somebody says, respect and mutual agreement, of course, the cornerstones of any marriage. Joe Kiash says, how comes forgetting her birthday is a crime? And yet I remember my birthday only when I get a text from Safaricom. Does Safaricom send birthday messages?
They do.
Oh yeah, they do. Yes.
They
Oh yeah,
do.
they do.
If they don't send, then you are a lot on.
They do. They do. Another interesting one here is concerning religion, and somebody's asking about, you know, in terms of religion, some ladies choose to change the man's religion. Ati hii kanisa yenyu sio poa, twende hii, and if you refuse, enmity starts there. So what is the procedure?
That's quite, I think that's quite important and also tricky because I think it happens the other way. Sometimes you find that mostly even when you have kids, the father says they are my religion. You find maybe someone is a Catholic, the other one is a different church. Or sometimes you see a Christian and a Muslim married, you know. And religion is sensitive because that's someone's personal belief. It's not a family belief. And of course you want to build a family on the same religion. But now I think now CJ there you would have to advise us according to church. You both of you are pastors and I'll be, because I always don't understand why we end up fighting over religion and kids. Let's baptize the kids in my church. Let's baptize the kids in my church. Kids go to the father's church. Who said that? Where did that come from?
Those you've said it right, that it's a very sensitive and important thing.
Yeah.
I think people don't wake up and get married, and they don't wake up married. Yeah. You've been courting or dating, whatever you call it, over a while. These are discussions, that would be held before, because that's one of the adjustments or changes that somebody's going to make. And it is important for them to talk about it, just the same way we're going to talk about, so where are we going to live? Are we moving into your house? Are you moving into my house? Are we looking for another house? People want to make assumptions over that. Sometimes the adage that love is blind is true, because they want to be blind to what we were talking about the other time, all the signs, things that they need to deal with, hoping that we'll just pass by it. Then you realize that there's a very fundamental, deep, I've used Burales fundamentally deep convictions. When somebody is going, for example, you know, if somebody is raised, for example, Catholic, they don't just feel like they're moving from the church, they're actually feeling like they're leaving their family. Yes. It's something that has been running down. So there's certain sense of sacrifice they feel that they are making. If you will need this person to make this sacrifice, it's not as easy as just join our church. This is what they have known. So it is important to have those discussions, understand why, let the other person understand where we're trying to go, what can we compromise, what can we take, so that two people eventually go the same direction. But that should not be an automatic thing. You know, sometimes, for example, Anita is more involved, she's a lady, but she's more involved in the church that she goes. I'm just a backbencher. It does not hurt for me then to go where she goes, because she has invested time and she has invested her gifts in that particular place. So me moving her from where she is, where she's doing a lot, so that we both come and sit at the back bench, so that I say that, you know, the man didn't join her, that's crazy. You've got to balance some of these things. Yeah.
And also, I'm seeing some people here that we need to help on 22422. And somebody says here that, hi, my husband told me to stop talking to his baby mama, and that he too has blocked her. But I noticed that they still talk and even meet for dinner.
Yeah, that's for RP. Yeah, that's for me. Why is it for me? First and foremost, the man lied from the get-go. You have a child with somebody.
You can't stop talking.
You will never stop talking. In fact, you will respect each other. So for him to have said that to the wife was a clear indicator that he does not want the wife to find out some stuff. That for me should have been a red flag already. So you cannot stop talking to your baby mama. So that wife needs to understand that she needs to confront it, because the man lied. It's as simple as that. I mean, unless the man has completely disowned his child, and that means then that's not even a good man to be married to. True. You understand what I'm saying? True. So she needs to confront it. And, you know, confrontation is not necessarily raising your voice. Is being firm with facts, and you're looking for solutions. So they need just to face it and get to a place after they have talked, the two of them, bring in the baby mama and let her understand her position, and also let them, the moment the two of them respect each other, you will have peace. But when you try to pit them, you know, divide and rule, the baby mama will hit you hard, your wife will hit you hard, you will be stressed.
But what about the dinners aspect?
You see, already the fact that he is doing it behind the wife's back, then there's a problem. Because what happens, and what people need to understand, when you have a baby mama, there's a connection that can never be taken away from. Now, when they start having these late night dinners and they're hiding it, then that means they're warming up to each other.
It is very dangerous.
Yeah, they're warming up to each other. I like that one. Well, we have some comments as well, some tweets. Let's take a look at the feedback on Twitter, and then I'll... some of the unwritten laws in the relationship include a man's decision must be superior. Another says, wow, constructive discussion in this era of when families and relationships are broken. But are these laws really worth it though? Don't say you are hanging out with boys when you who are pendi. Okay, hold on, I need to stand up for this because I can't see. Don't say you're hanging out with boys when you're huwapendi. Choose the most holy out of your Buddha club. Kufa na yeye. Buddha! Alright? That's the one I was talking about. Unwritten law number 027, page 6. Never switch TV channels without a consent, especially kama ni kum bagaya. Hata kama ako kitchen, just don't change. Respect and mutual agreement are the cornerstones of any marriage. Enrico Kiggs, integrity is the law of relationship. Respecting and honoring your significant other goes beyond the walls of the honeymoon phase. And somebody here on 22422 says, good morning, Willis. You know, my mom told me that I say my name too fast, people don't hear it.
Willis.
This one has called me Willis Obura. But it is Willis Ra Buru. Tafadhali. In a relationship, if someone or somebody wants to love you because of what you have, then that one is not true love. What I think is that in a relationship, people should benefit from each other in terms of sharing ideas, advising one another accordingly, inspiring one another in terms of spiritual growth or matters, financial issues, and or other matters as well. Asante sana, you are Austin from Thika. Somebody says, wives, your man may not be as perfect as you want him to be, maybe even annoying, but today please encourage him to fight on. He does not need you to bash him when he comes home in the evening. It's interesting. Someone says, I'm in a relationship, but I no longer know where it is heading, and I fear to ask about this. Is there any, there's one, is there, I almost said, is there Anita? Is there unwritten law ile ya kusema kwamba hiyo swali ya where, who are we, where are we going, what is it?
I think, I don't know why I reacted. I reacted on behalf of men because they're the ones who should react like that. But there's nothing as scary as that question.
Yes.
That we need to talk. Because I think men sometimes like taking their time, but us women want to know all the time, like, where is this going? After a month, you see the problem with men. If you're not serious with a lady, don't sweetie her, baby. You're leading her on. Yeah. Then one day you're going to be like, I wanted us to be friends. Oh yeah, brother. I call my friends brother. Can we stick to your lane? We just know this is not heading anywhere. But you text someone, and I told you sometime back, CJ, you cannot text a woman for a whole month. Good morning, have you eaten? Are you coughing okay? Don't, saliva should not choke you. Then you tell her you don't want to date. Then why are you? Why are we going through the whole charade?
I agree with you. It's two-way. There's some ladies who ask a man after the second date, when are you going to meet my parents? That's absolutely unrealistic.
After day 2.
Yes, but also there are some men who take too long, because men should offer direction, for lack of a better word.
Amen.
Yeah, but you don't demand for him to meet your parents after the second Java meeting. You understand what I'm saying? And then for men, you cannot be 18 months into a relationship or something like that, and you have not given some level of indication that this is where we are going. Right. And that is why if you do that to a lady, in fact, for me, I don't believe in dating for 5 years. You know, I think 18 months should be getting married. You understand what I'm saying? So within a year, because ladies, if you're calling her in the morning, if you're texting her late night before you sleep, you're already getting her heart to open up for you. And then after 6 months, you're already embedded and comfortable in her heart. After 8 months, you tell her, I just wanted us to be friends. You have really left a very bitter woman because you strung her along, but you knew you're getting nowhere with her. So for men, it's absolutely important that you tell them this is where we are going. If you're going nowhere, let her also know so that she makes the decision based on your openness. But ladies, hear me and hear me good. If a man texts you at 8:59, just before the watershed, don't say that's a man who is in love with you. Don't get it twisted.
What?
After the first 2 months, let me tell you, don't ever tell your friends, I think I'm marrying this man after 3 weeks of texts. You will be disappointed.
All right.
CJ, do we have, before we finish, do you have a timeline to when people should get married then? Because I'm thinking, you just said 8 months and I cringed. I was like, 8 months?
I said 18.
No, first you said 8 months of dating and someone says they're not interested. Why are you doing
There are men who have done that.
Yes.
And also, by the way, there are women who have been given direction, and the man has been very clear that I think I'm getting somewhere. And then you meet some six-pack somewhere who walks and looks like Diamond and sings like him, happy birthday. And then your man who has no voice, you always say now, you know, when ladies say, listen, ladies have this statement, it's not about me, it's not me, it's not you, it's
me, I'm going through something.
Yes, also men, let's also not just say it's the men who are leading the women on. There's some women who have just let the men off, and the men had offered good direction. Maybe you found somebody else who appears perfect. I think somebody said on the tweets, you will never get a perfect man.
Oh, it was an SMS, yes.
They never exist.
But we don't use Diamond or you're saying six-pack. We go for people like Jason Momoa, Idris Elba.
I don't even know who those are. Idris Elba is right now
Ali
enjoying his wife.
I was asking people, since when has marriage ever stopped women? Really now? Since when?
From what?
Like
That
what?
is another discussion for another day.
CJ, we'll have a counseling session.
Yeah.
Manake, hapo kwa Idris. Anyway, I'll read the last 2 comments here. Somebody says, "Hi Willis, my name is Robert Maina, aka Mr. Deputy President.
Yes.
Please send my regards to the one and only President of Israel, Robert Burhan."
He will be my running mate. How are you, my brother?
Kutoka Kahawa West.
Yes, my very good friend.
And then, yeah, somebody's also asking for how to reach you guys. He's actually from Eldoret, he didn't leave his name. He just says, "I really need your help." So for you, I don't know, we'll discuss later. Maybe I can share your number and then they can reach out to you. Or you can follow them at CJ Atemo, that is CJ Atemo, at Burale
1. Number moja.
At Burale 1, at Anita Ray with an H and a Ray. R-E-Y, not Ray ya Sunshine. R-A-E-Y. So ndio hiyo sasa. Well, I would like to say asanteni sana for all the comments and many funny
Willis, before
as
you
well.
finish, can
Yes.
you all wish my daughter happy birthday?
What's her name?
What's her name?
Andrea Chesa. I feel
Chesa-
old.
Chesa?
Chesa, not Dani, Chesa.
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 Oh, umesikia tu Chesa.
You don't believe, see what? Are you sure? Chesa.
Yes.
Ni wapi?
Anyway, tuni wangu.
Asema Andrea.
Andrea
Andrea.
Chesa.
Yes.
How old is she turning? 3.
Turning 3 today.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Andrea,
birthday.
may you grow up to be a fine human being.
Amen.
Fulfilling your destiny.
Amen.
No harm shall come near you.
Amen.
You are blessed beyond any curse.
Amen. Amen.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Andrea. Happy birthday, Andrea. Chesa. Happy birthday, Andrea. Chesa. Happy birthday to you, Chesa.
Kama ni Mluya lazima uongeze Chesa.
Ni Chesa.
Okay, sawa.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Yeah, happy birthday to you. And it's also your birthday
Oh, yeah,
month,
next week.
Next week, so
Mine too.
7 days apart.
So we are planning.
Mine
we are
is 15th
planning.
May as well.
Hey?
Hello.
Tuko huku ndani.
Kuhumumu.
Okay, yako ni lini CJ?
September.
September.
But my second son is on 14th of May.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. The tall guy.
No.
Oh, the first one is the tall one, yeah.
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 But they both play football.
They both play football.
Tuko hapa tumezuba tumepotea hapa.
Willis is,
Wako
yeah, Willis
hapo
is February 29th.
No, his birthday is
Celebrates every 4 years.
It's a leap year. Asanteni sana. Coming up next is Sam Gituku and Zinzi who are coming through. And the remainder of this hour on Daybreak. We'd like to say thank you guys so much. Thank you for taking time to come. And thank you guys for watching. Like we always say, just like one person has SMS'd here, that if you do need help in any matter, don't suffer alone. Always speak up, talk to somebody you trust, whether it is a counselor, a bishop, a pastor, a professional. It's also not, by the way, there's nothing wrong with seeing a psychiatrist or a counselor, so long as you're getting help. Don't suffer alone, okay? And remember, God loves you and that will never change. No matter what you did yesterday, no matter what you'll do today, upendo yake itabaki ile ile. And successful people look like you and the great Manchester United.